Lord Bison, can you hear me?
Yes, state your business.
So, my lord, you don't remember anything about your past, am I right?
Indeed.
So, how are you doing your special moves like Psycho Crushers and Knee Press? How do you even know it's called Psycho Crusher? Street Fighter 6 is the latest Street Fighter game, and as you'd expect in any series, the characters do grow over time. They are learning as they go on. Case in point, a character like Ryu. In Street Fighter 4, he can do Hadouken, Shoryuken, and Tatsu. Now enter Street Fighter 6 and he added the Donkey Kick to his arsenal, although the execution is kinda trash. Now enter Street Fighter 6, he's doing the Donkey Kick better and he learned how to do the Hashogeki. That makes sense, right? However, due to the idea of the general fighting game's design, special moves don't always translate over from game to game, but typically they are still reserved somehow. For example, Balrog had his headbutt, which was a special move he had in Street Fighter 2 and 4. In Street Fighter 5, they made it his V reversal. Another example is Rose. She had her Soul Through, which was like her anti-air. She doesn't have the move as a special in Street Fighter 5, but it is now a part of her super, and her reflect became her V reversal. So, and then you got like examples like Cody, where they made his criminal upper his super. Which kinda bugs me to this day. But sometimes characters straight out forget how to do moves. Moves that are forgotten to time. I guess you can say they had amnesia. Starting first with Zangief's Green Hand, and Zangief players love their Green Hand. Green Hand was the moves that he had in Street Fighter 4 and Street Fighter 2 Turbo. The idea of this move is that it would negate fireballs while also moving forward. It was kind of a mobility option as well, like you grab them, use your Green Hand to close the distance. You can always use it in wave punish scenarios as well to get some damage on the opponent, and after they added Red Focus, it became really good to get like a whiff punish into the party started. However, moving into Street Fighter 5, Capcom went with a different direction with Zangief. They wanted to go with all muscle, armor, and make Zangief like about the armor muscle god. So they gave him two V skills that had armor, so that you can punish the opponent on your read. Also gave him like the heavy punch and took away Green Hand completely. Now enter Street Fighter 6 and he still doesn't have Green Hand, and they kept forward with the muscle thing, the armor. His heavy punch still got armor, but now his entire body turns green and he can run hilariously at his opponent. So the move doesn't really have a purpose now, like from a balancing perspective, but it is kind of funny that Zangief just completely forgot how to do it. And speaking of keeping a move out for balance, Akuma's Demon Flip Grab. If you don't know, if you haven't played the prior games, Akuma always had like his Demon Flip, but he always had like the bomb or like the chop, the one he had now the punch follow-up, he had the dive kick, and he had the option to slide, which is like just letting go, not pressing anything. However, in the prior games, Akuma actually had a grab option out of the Demon Flip, and this is like a standing grab move where if you're crouching, the move will whiff. And it doesn't matter who you are, all of us got by this grab at some point. Like Tokido even got Punk with it at the Grand Finals of EVO. However, Capcom completely omitted this move from Akuma in Street Fighter 6. He doesn't have it anymore, and they given him instead the ability to simply touch ground without committing to any of the follow-up. And thank God they didn't, because it probably would have been like an OD launcher that he gets like insane combos out of, and Lord knows how many times I got grabbed by Kami's OD Hooligan into grab into super. That thing is straight up robbery. Thankfully, Kuma doesn't have it anymore, so I'm kind of grateful of that. Hi there and welcome to my world, welcome to my mansion, where me and my friends, the EX-Men gather. We're still looking for Wolverine, we haven't found him yet, and apparently in my universe Psylocke and Rogue are identical twins as well. It's crazy. If you've been liking the video but you haven't subscribed yet, and please consider subscribing, it would help the channel a lot, and maybe we would find Wolverine one day. I think that will be pretty cool. Excuse the silliness and enjoy the rest of your video. And speaking of Kami CQC Super, this was Kami's Ultra 2 in Street Fighter 4, and it was actually like a counter move. You would hit her, it would transition into this animation, and this did a lot of damage. And I think it really fit Cammy as a character. You would really expect her to be like a super expert on CQC. And back then, Capcom had like a hard-on for counter moves. Fei Long also had an Ultra, the 1-inch punch, that was actually really cool. And unfortunately, Cammy never did this again. Not in Street Fighter V, not in Street Fighter 6. We never really seen anything of the sort. I guess you can call her level 2 super sort of a CQ sequence, although not really. Moving forward with Street Fighter V, Capcom actually gave other character the whole CQC master of counters, and that was Colleen. And thank God they did, because it gave us the greatest counter of all time. But Cammy's counter was not the only one taken away from us. Juri also had a very interesting counter in Street Fighter 4. It had 3 different versions, light, medium, heavy, and the interesting thing is, depending on which version you did, Juri would teleport on a successful counter to a different location, and that is entirely unique. I don't think we have ever seen a character adopt this type of counter, even later on, and certainly they took it away from Juri, but I loved the idea. It was never like a super good move, and she did have an invincible reversal anyway, so it was kind of like a cherry on top. But I really like this move conceptually, and to be honest, I would love for Juri to have this over having like a regular good old DP, because this is more unique. But she never had this, and they never really gave it to any other character. I guess you can say maybe it was like Nash's V reversal, but it's not really like the same thing, I guess. But yeah, they took it away from Juri, and I do think she actually teleports with her like critical art or super in Street Fighter 6. She probably does know how to do it, but doesn't anymore. And speaking of knowing how to do it, but not anymore, where is M. Bison Teleport and M. Bison Psycho Inferno? I know this is a character that literally went through amnesia, and I think Bison actually teleports in Street Fighter 6. Maybe in his critical art, I'm pretty sure he teleports, but he doesn't have it in gameplay, and he gave it to like Shin Bison. If you checked out the new trailer for the new event, the Giant Attack, he does have a teleport. It probably wouldn't have been amazing, but it's so weird to me. The whole Bison thing is weird, because he have amnesia, or he's like a different body, but he still knows how to perfectly do Psycho Crusher and call it by name. He's still the Psycho Crusher. Like, how do you know it's called Psycho Crusher? Like, I can guess that it's a muscle memory. Well, I think I'm thinking this way too much, but yeah, he doesn't no longer have the teleport, and he no longer has the Psycho Inferno, which kind of makes me sad, because Inferno, I think, was one of the coolest looking specials that he had. He literally summons a wall of Psycho Flames. That was so cool, but especially like the OD version or the EX version, when it was like on both sides, and it had some really cool utility in Street Fighter 5 where it could like anti-air cross-ups. That was really, really cool. But yeah, unfortunately, he no longer has it, and no more Psycho Flames for our Lord Bison. Kind of a bummer. I hope he does it in a future game. There is obviously like other examples, like for example, Ed no longer having like his rising kick, but I will take this as he just wanna stay like a boxing character and doesn't really want to do kicks anymore. So I can kind of see that from like a design perspective, maybe even like a lore perspective. He wanna focus on boxing. But yeah, if you have enjoyed this video, please leave a like or a comment. Tell me if I've forgotten any moves, or any moves that characters that are in Street Fighter 6 now just simply forgot how to do. I would love to hear your thoughts about it in the comment section below. I will be leaving links to the Patreon, Discord, Twitter, and Twitch pages in the description. Thank you so much for watching, and stay safe.